Welcome to Daily Harmony.
Great to be diving in again.
Yeah, today we're digging into something pretty foundational in A Course in Miracles. We're looking closely at Lesson 192.
Ah, yes, the one that says, I have a function God would have me fill. Simple sentence, but really packed with meaning.
Totally. And for you listening, especially if you want to get to the heart of these ideas efficiently, this lesson is, well, it's a big one for understanding your purpose from the Course's viewpoint.
It really is a shortcut to a core concept.
Okay, so a function God would have me fill. Let's break that down. It's saying right off the bat that our existence isn't just random chance.
Right. There's an inherent purpose,
Yeah.
specific role, you could say, within this larger divine framework or plan.
And it's not about like the usual stuff we think of as purpose. Is it like career success or building something tangible?
Exactly. The Course steers away from those worldly definitions. It points towards something more fundamental, something divinely appointed, not self-chosen based on ego desires.
Okay, so our mission today is really to unpack what this function might be, why figuring it out, or rather accepting it, is so important.
And crucially, how you, listening right now, can start to maybe identify and embrace that in your own life.
So the core teaching seems pretty clear. Everyone has this unique, God-given function.
Unique and inherent, yeah. It's part of the design, not an add-on. It's not
Yeah.
something you have to, audition for.
Right. But if it's inherent, why the emphasis on recognizing and accepting it? Why is that step so significant?
That's really the crux of it. Recognizing and accepting this function. The Course suggests this is absolutely key for spiritual fulfillment. It's how we align with, well, what the Course calls God's will.
Alignment. Okay, so it's like tuning into the right frequency.
Kind of, yeah. It facilitates this surrender. You let go of your own separate, often conflicting personal will, the
Yeah.
ego's plans,
Yeah.
and you yield to this greater unified will.
Which sounds like it could bring a lot of peace, frankly, less internal struggle.
Definitely. And there's more. This acceptance, it fosters this incredible sense of belonging, interconnectedness. Yeah.
Ah, right. That fits with the Course's big themes of love and unity. You realize you're not just this isolated individual.
Exactly. You're part of everything. Your function serves the whole. Accepting it reinforces that understanding.
So let's talk benefits. If you start recognizing this function, what actually changes? How does it help you escape, say, the stuff that usually trips us up?
Well, the Course is pretty direct about this. Recognizing your function helps you escape the confines of feeling isolated, separate, and the fear that comes with that.
Fear of not being enough, fear of scarcity, fear of attack, all that.
All stemming from that sense of being alone and vulnerable. Embracing your function shifts you out of that mindset. It leads you toward a state of genuine purpose and peace.
It gives you a framework then, a way to understand where you fit in.
Precisely. It helps make sense of your life and your experiences within this larger divine context. You see your inherent value.
Okay, so we've established there is this function it's important to accept, and it brings peace and connection. But the big question remains.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone asks that.
Is there like a universal job description? Or is it different for everyone?
Well,
What is-
it doesn't give you a single word, like your function is X. It's maybe more subtle than that.
Okay.
But the exercises, the reflections, especially around Lesson 192, they all point towards an inherent purpose that involves contributing to the greater whole. Healing, essentially.
It's like fixing what's broken.
In a sense, consider this idea. Your sacred role is to help heal the perception of separation in the world. Your function contributes to undoing the ego's thought system of fear and attack.
Healing the world. That sounds huge. How does that actually play out for, regular people in their everyday lives?
It's not necessarily about grand gestures, though it could be. It's often in the small things. The Course encourages looking within. Think back. Reflect on moments where you felt truly aligned.
Aligned, meaning
Meaning you felt a strong sense of purpose, like you were doing exactly what you were meant to be doing, a sense of rightness. It might have been at work, or maybe volunteering somewhere.
or even just in an interaction with family or a friend.
Absolutely. Or maybe during some creative activity or just a quiet moment of connection where you felt that deep satisfaction, that link to something bigger than just your own worries.
I think I know that feeling. Like a sense of flow almost, where things just feel
Right.
effortless but meaningful.
Exactly that. Those feelings, that inner resonance, those are clues. They're often indicators that you're touching upon or acting from your inherent function.
So paying attention to those inner signals is step one. What about more like active things we can do, practical exercises?
Yeah, the course offers practical tools. One powerful thing is setting an intention. You could start your day, maybe just take a moment and affirm something like, I am open to recognizing my function today.
Simple, just setting the intention.
Just setting the intention. Let that guide your awareness, your choices throughout the day. See what shows up.
Okay, what else?
Meditation is another key practice. Spending even just 5 or 10 minutes in stillness, quietly asking for guidance, like, what is my function? Or show me my function. And then just listen. Be open to whatever feelings or insights bubble up. No pressure.
Just being receptive.
hmm And journaling can be really helpful too. Write about those times you did feel purposeful or aligned.
What specifically should you write about?
Get detailed. What were you actually doing? How did it feel in your body, in your mind? What effect did it seem to have, even subtly, on others or the situation? Looking for patterns in those journal entries can be very revealing.
Patterns. Okay. Now, you mentioned healing earlier, and the Course talks a lot about forgiveness. How does forgiveness fit into this function idea? Is that the function?
That's a really important connection to make. Well, the Course probably wouldn't say forgiveness is the only function. It definitely presents forgiveness as maybe the primary way we express our divine function in this world.
Okay, so forgiveness as the expression of the function.
Exactly. Think about what ACIM means by forgiveness. It's not about saying what you did was okay. It's about releasing judgment, releasing the past, releasing the burden of grievances that keep us locked in separation and pain.
So, like, letting go of a grudge I've been holding on to against someone, that could be me fulfilling my function.
Absolutely. Choosing peace for yourself over resentment. That's a powerful act of healing for you primarily, which then extends outwards.
What about other examples?
Offering grace instead of demanding revenge or retaliation. When someone hurts you, choosing to respond with, maybe not agreement, but with a desire for peace rather than fueling the conflict.
Or even just softening in an argument, trying to understand the other person instead of just proving you're right.
Yes. Seeking understanding over winning. Seeking connection over division. These are all practical ways forgiveness manifests. Each time you choose that path, you're essentially stepping into your function. You're bringing healing to the situation, undoing the ego script of conflict.
Wow, okay. That really reframes everyday conflicts and annoyances, doesn't it? Suddenly, choosing to forgive isn't just being nice, it's fulfilling a divine purpose.
Precisely. The Course suggests these individual acts of forgiveness, these shifts in perception, they ripple outwards.
Yeah.
They contribute directly to healing the collective mind, bringing everyone closer to recognizing the unity that's already there.
This brings us to a really powerful question for you, the listener, to maybe sit with.
hmm
What would it actually look like for you to fully embrace this idea? To really live out the function that, according to the Course, God has for you?
Yeah, how might just accepting that premise,
Yeah.
how might that change how you view your daily challenges, your interactions,
Yeah.
even your own sense of self-worth?
It's a big one to ponder.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, recognizing your divine function, as Lesson 192 highlights, isn't about finding some huge, dramatic mission out there in the world necessarily.
Right, it's more internal.
It seems to be more about recognizing an inherent purpose that's already within you, a purpose fundamentally rooted in expressing love, extending forgiveness, and realizing unity.
And the path to that is through that openness. Using those tools like reflection, daily affirmation, quiet meditation.
And making those conscious choices for forgiveness in the moments they arise.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you move towards that deeper spiritual fulfillment, that sense of connection the Course talks about.
So just consider, even small shifts in how you see things, guided by this intention, I have a function God would have me fill. Think about the impact that could have on your day-to-day life.
hmm What really stands out to you about this whole idea, this concept of having a specific function given by God? Does it resonate? Does it raise questions?
Definitely something to keep exploring. This deep dive is really just scratching the surface of such a profound concept.
Absolutely. Food for thought.